Okay, I know these are React series, but I thought we could go ahead and do HTML, CSS, and JavaScript first so we can get an overview of how the web works because I think it's essential of you to know how the web works. And a reminder, this tutorial is meant for beginners, the boring stuff, not that much. But if you want to understand the fundamentals, this is the tutorial meant for you. So we are gonna start by installing an IDE, Integrated Development Editor. Visual Studio is always the best. For my preference, I choose Visual Studio. So you'll search in the browser Visual Studio and come to the first link. No, this is not it. I think people are trying to just sell out their new products, but name it Visual Studio. It's okay. The full name is Visual Studio, but there is Visual Studio 2012, which is has a pink icon. Okay, but this one is all because they share the same name. They always call this as a short form VS Code. So I think if we search this, it will come up as a blue icon. Okay, so I've already downloaded mine in my PC, my laptop. But if you have Windows, you click on here and it will start the download. But I'll not download it because I've already installed it. After downloading it, you come to your downloads and install it. You should come over here and you have to install it. Just double click on it and click on the buttons that appear, accept the terms, and you will have it. Okay, so here's Visual Studio. I think I should make my mouse pop out. Let me set that out. Let me hope that it's working. Okay, so here's Visual Studio. If you already had it opened, and it will start with the previous project that you're working on, like I was working on this project. Okay, here's where people get confused. You come to files, then you close this folder. Here's the close folder. You close it. When you close it, everything will come empty. What you can do, you can create a file, then drag it in here, and it will appear here in the Explorer. But when you click here, you can see it tells you open folder. It does not tell you create. People will think that you should just create it outside, then drag it in here. But what you can do, you can just press on open folder or come to files and open folder through here. You don't create new file, you open a folder because you want your project to be in a folder, not a file, so that you can create files in it. So you open folder, then you can pick on desktop, the destination. Okay, now this is desktop. You click away from the icons, then you right click, then you click on new, then you click on folder, then you rename it as HTML, CSS, JavaScript, beginner. Then you click on enter, then you can select the folder. Then it comes like this. Okay, if you haven't installed any AI, this UI will not be here. You can just close it. And there's some extension I'll need you to download. Okay, here's where there are extensions. You click on it, you download it here. It helps format your code into a readable form without you adding spaces. So you just click on install. I've already installed mine. If there are steps to set it up, it's not working, you can check online on how to set it up. Then I think you come to HTML, snippets, install this. I think it's just that you can JavaScript. I think this is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay, so if you already have those installed, okay. So non-coders always have a stereotype thinking that these codes are meant to stick in the brain. Well, I want to tell you and assure you that's not true. These codes were created, they were not discovered. They were created so that you can write and interact with computer systems and create something which is usable. So there are always docs. People create these codes, always give documentations as to how to write the syntax. If there is a new update, they'll inform and write a documentation about it. It's not a must you have this in memory so that you can use it. You can just be somebody who Googles something, then you implement it. And AI has made that easier. It even will show you an example of how the code works without you interacting with the documentation. And I think they're right to say that you have to know these things in your mind. I assure you, if you put that guy and teach him how to code and tell him to hold those things in his mind and have that notion, that's how people fail how to learn how to code. They think these things should be in their mind and they start blaming themselves and stress out. Why are they not sticking? So it should rely your mind if you had tried to code and had a difficult time. You should just learn how to take things slow. They will come and stick. Sometimes you forget. It's just the nature of coding. But you can remind yourself and you just write what you want to write. So sometimes you'll see me using ChatGPT and also some documentations. Because these things are not meant to stay in your mind. You found them and you leave them here. Also, you will create a file HTML dot HTML, or you can just do index so that it does not look confusing. Index dot HTML. Okay, so you can, so this holds the structure of your website. There is, you can just any name styles.css. This is meant for styling your website, and there is the JavaScript file. This is meant for adding functionality to your website. So there is something called emit in VS Code. It generates boilerplate for HTML. Okay, so you press on my laptop, it has to access the exclamation mark, you press shift then the 1. So when it brings you this, a pop-up will come with the setting drawing. You click on enter. This has generated the boilerplate. You can research about this, but this is important. This is setting the language of your website, and this is the title. Now to run this you can, and I forgot an extension. You can come here and write live server. This is live server. You install it. Okay, so when you click on here, it notifies you are here. When you click on here, it comes back here, and you can close these tabs. Like you are in extensions, you can close this up. So here's where your website starts. Inside here, so you write your website. So you can run this on the browser without a live server, but I think you should serve this thing. When you say a server is a computer that distributes resources to other client computers. It's like you have hosted this thing on a server. Then when somebody needs access to your website, he'll use the URL and it contacts the server, and the server releases the resources, which is the HTML files. Then it comes back to your device. After creating this website, you'll host it in a server. Now you can simulate a server environment by using the live server, or just open this in a browser. But if you're using CDNs, this if you're using CDNs, content delivery network, to get some libraries, you'll have to use a server because they need access to the internet, and the browser can't simulate that. You need access to a server, so you use live server. CDNs are things like you can convert to, like, let me see. There's one for style, there's one for animations. Let's try animation library or website. Okay, this is GSAP. When you come to GSAP, it's either use npm, which is JavaScript package management, or you use CDN. So this is GSAP CDN because you're not using React. You need to use a CDN because React has the capabilities of using npm, but you are in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, the native. So you won't have that communication with Node Package Manager to download the GSAP into your environment or code base. So what you need to do, you would use a CDN. Okay. You will be taking it from Cloudflare via the internet. So some CDNs need the server environment to work. If you inject this in your code, you'll have the capabilities of using GSAP. But now some will not work this way. If you take this file, some will refuse to work. If you take this file and drag it here, you are not using a server, you've just opened this file. But if you use live server, let me see, use live server and click here, then let me see. You're looking for start with the live server. There are also other servers you can look for. This is just to simulate an environment of a server. Let me see. I'm not seeing the start with the live server. HTML. I'll be editing this, so I'll cut the times where I mess up, and I'll cut short the times where I'm searching for things. Because sometimes these things, they don't just come straightforward. You have to, like, some things may change, and you have to, like, look for a solution of what you're trying to do. Okay, so I think I should enable extension in this workspace. Let me click on it. Just continue. Okay, so it's now I up. It has come this pop-up. When I click on go live, it says starting. And you should be in the file where you want to start. Okay, so it has started this thing. This is your machine IP of your machine. I think this is the port. The port is like a door. Your server has doors. Every every request and every request goes through a port. A port is not to be shared by other, it's only meant for some requests, so it's separate. Like your website can have a port on the server and another website can have a port on the server, another port, so they don't collide. It's like a doorway to the server. So when you open this, here is when the CDNs can sometimes get your file and you can work with the CDNs. But some just work, but sometimes they don't work. So that, okay, this is a library, this GSUP. It simplifies the native HTML animation style. Just to simplify, it was rewritten again and it's made like a library. So it simplifies how you can create animations. Okay, so we'll come to React also, but we have to pass through here. If you've never interacted with the web, you can't just go to React and you'll get some things which are hard. So, okay, so here's the body. Okay, this is the title of your website. If you come to this, it should have come here, but it's not showing. I don't know why. The title. Then there's a way to change this image. The title is, oh, okay, it's here, document. You can say, is my website. Then when you come back here, it's changed. The live server reloads automatically. You don't have to reload, but this one you have to do this. So there's a way to change this image. You can just browse on how to change that image. You can change it. Okay, the file structure, this is set. This is just, you can just research on this. Then you come to the head. The head carries some metadata about your website and some configurations. So the configurations are settings. Then you come to the body. You can come here and there is something called emit. You can write div. Div is just like a segment. It's not a HTML tag. In HTML we use tags. Like we can use, okay, it's an HTML tag, but it's like for grouping things. So you can come here and write, okay, in HTML you can write characters just without a tag. So you can write like this. You can write like this. Then you can add a style. You can style this thing. You can add style. Can write. Okay, let's see first how it appears. Let's put this here. Let's move this tip. Okay, you can see I've written here, but if you want a proper syntax, okay, you can just type h2, then click enter, then it will like appear. Then you can highlight this and drag this here. If you want it to be a heading. Okay, this one was like it's in a paragraph. It's in a paragraph like this. So you can see it's the same, but if you put it out here, it's like this is the same, but if you put here, it's like heading to. Now these tags specify what you want. This is like a grouping. It's like you've grouped this. Let's put this in a h2. And now you've grouped these two with a div. Then you want to style this div. Styling is like you add a background color or you add layout. So let's do background color blue. Now it's been long since I've written this, but this is a string. This is, if you see somebody using commas, it's a string. Then you come here, then you can write border radius. Okay, you can close this part, you can hold here and then close it, border radius, and you write 40px. Too much. Okay, so you have grouped these two. Also, you can use another one called section. There's another one called section. You say this a section or this a grouping, and you've added this style. This is inline styling. If you want external styling, you put your styles here. And one thing I want you to point out, you see there is a space here, there is a space here, there is a space here. These spaces should not be here. You should like put them on your own, but each browser has its default styles. So you can remove the default styles by using the universal selector, then using this, then doing margin. Don't remember, but I'm trying to see if it comes. I don't know. Let's check on how to style CSS external styling. Okay, we didn't link. You should link your file. You should link this file so that it can use. If you put styles here. This will take precedence, and it will consider this first, then come to this. So it will ignore this and take this inline. If you have same style here and another style here, so we have to link this with this. Okay, to link, you come to head. You come to head where you set up configurations, and you take this and you place it here. Relation, this is a style sheet. You can add this or leave it out. Okay, now the reference. This is the reference. You specify this. You take styles.css. Okay, you send the change. You've done margin 0. Okay, margin is like border of your element to another element. That's margin. And this is the document. I forgot to tell you this is a document. Okay, so you've done margin 0, it was taken here. Then padding is the space between your border to the internal, your border to the inside of your element. So if I come here and I now want to style this thing, I will do class. I will write class, then I will say this is the head. Now I want to add padding, space between the border to the inside of my elements. That's padding. Margin, I told you, is the space between your border to another element. Okay, let's come to styles, and you select it. You select it by doing a dot. Then you take header. You write header. Then you do this. Okay, so let's do padding top, because we downloaded the extension. It will be helping us. Padding top, let's do 40 pixels. Is it the space from the border to the inside? I mean, that's what I can explain it. But if we take header, we don't need to select it again. We do margin top. We do 50 pixels. You see, this is the difference. Then if we come here and take this again, is a margin and it's a padding. No, it's a margin, this one here. So it's a margin from one element to another. Then it also has, this element has padding. Everything here is in a box. The box is just invisible. It has a border. We've not just specified it to show us the border. If we specify for it to show us the border, you'll see the border. and you'll be like, so here to here is like padding, then from border to another element it's like margin. Let's come again, and you can do a class or an ID. You can give this the same class here, this is the same class, but for ID it's only one element. You can do ID, then do this, then write fast, then come here and write ID, then write spec. And then because we installed prettier, you can click and then do control save. You have to say if there's no error, you will allow it to format. There are those settings you can search and see how to set prettier up. So we can ID, you do hash, then you FST, then you do this, and also you can come and select the sec, then you do this. So we want to add, okay, this is FST, we want to add margin to it. Let's do margin bottom. You've seen it, but for you to see this, let's do border. Border takes in three properties: color, the size, and I don't know what. Let's see. In any order, one, X, blue, let's do brown. There is one again. One pixel brown. Let's search CSS border. Okay, it takes, and if it's solid, you say it's solid in any order. Okay, let's do solid. There is also tapered. Okay, so this is our border. You can see we've not messed with the space from outside here to the inside. But if we do padding, you can just write padding. It will apply top, bottom, left, right. You do this, then you do 70 pixel. You've seen it's moved the inside to the outside. Now you've seen things are moving around. I think this is because of some setting. This is the default, but you can set it up so that they don't move around. I don't know that setting very well, but box size, if it's this. Hmm, I think it's border. Okay. Okay, I think it's this one, border box. I don't know if it work how I'm saying it. Oh, it didn't work. It's working, but people love this. You can research about this property. It does not move things around very much. Okay, so it helps you estimate the layout, something like that. So people just love it. So, okay, so we can remove this. Okay, now let's do layout. Layout is how you structure out your outlook, your website outlook, how it looks. Like, let's say you want to put this here and something here. You want to put things side by side. You will think, let me try moving this thing to this side. Okay, it's this sec. Let's do padding. Padding. Padding left. Let's do 90 pixels. You think moving these things like this is right. Somehow it's right, but when you resize your screen, the layout will break. Let's do 800. Okay, it's off the screen. Let's do like 690. Okay, you can now see this is like you can be asking, are things supposed to be this way? Then you'll come and do, you can do PB. Just write PB, then it come padding bottom. You can do 90 px. Now you're starting to see things are not meant to go such a way. You can now see when you do div, it comes here, then the next element goes down. You must use layout formats on how to style search. You want to put this here and you want to put this here. Let's revert all these changes. Okay, I did a margin bottom. Let's see, header. I did a padding of 40 px. This is the result. Okay, I did a margin top of 50 px. Here I did a margin bottom for this to push this one down here. I think let's remove this. This is the padding. Let's remove the padding. Okay, so let's put the padding on this header. Let's put the, we can do only Y, the up and bottom, and do the sideways separate, or we can just do padding and write everything to specify the, I don't know the, but this one uses the arrangement, the position. It focuses, it's not like the border which does not focuses on the position, you can just put it anyhowly. So the format, I don't remember. You can search and open CSS. You can see you can do this. But there's one you put top, bottom, left, right in one line. So I've forgotten the position of how you have to position that. You can look into it from AI, but okay. So what we want to do, we want to take this and, or we add, let's just do this first. We want to take this and put it here. Because when you write things, it goes up to down. And you want to take this and put it here on the sideways. So what we want to do, we want to make this thing flex, display flex. It's a layout structuring. So when you press display, you'll put flex. Okay, what flex does, it puts things sideways. Okay, let's revert it first and let's add border so that we see what we're doing. Border and we, okay, you put anyhow. You can do black, solid, 2 pixels. Okay, you see that? Then you do this. So CSS, how you place things here, up, down, it moves like that throughout. There's no way it will ever move sideways. And if you try to use padding to move things side by side, when you open your website, you'll try to do this and you'll see the thing will remain, the element will remain this side or the element will position this side. It will destroy your layout. So you should use flex. Flex is important, an important topic. Every time you try to move things side by side, you use flex. You don't use anything, the paddings, the left, the right, those you just leave out. So when you come to styles, you've seen things are going from up to down. The div is like a grouping element. It has grouped this and we've added style up here. So it has encompassed this too. So let's do flex, display, flex. Let's do flex. You've seen what has happened. Then here you put gap to move things around 30 px. That's a gap. Then goes, you see what has happened. Okay, instead of doing gaps, and you want this and this on the other side, you can do flex. I've forgotten. I think you. I've forgotten. I've forgotten it. But you can write flex between CSS. Yeah, remembered. Okay, now how to like there are two properties you should just know. It's justify content. I want to explain them. Justify content, and there is items. Click this one. I don't know. There are like two which look similar. Align items and another one. There's also text align. There's also text align. Okay, what you need to know with these two properties, there is an axis. When you do display flex, you set the direction of flex. You set this property to be row. When you do this, when you do that, you set this property like this. The axis comes to, I hope you know rows and columns. You should know rows and columns very well. So the axis will come to the horizontal, the main axis will come to the horizontal position. It will, how these things are running, the main axis has come there. This justify content styles the main axis. You can do flex end. You've seen the move to the end. When you do flex end, it has moved here. And then this one styles the other axis, the y axis. When you do flex end, you've seen it has come down. It has come down, but you can't notice it because we placed our padding. We placed padding on this div, on this. Let's do like, let's remove the padding and use height. Let's do 400 views. That's too much. Okay, when you use height, you can now see. When you are using padding, it was top, bottom, left, right. When you just write padding, that's why it was looking evenly. But now, I told you very well, when you set display flex, it moves the main axis to the row. The main axis, how these things are moving like that. It has moved the main axis. Now, justify content styles the main axis. When you place flex end, it was right here, it's moved to the end. When you place align items, it will style the other axis, the y axis. When you place flex end, it moves here. Let's remove it now and see what happens. We place the borders so that you can see how these things look. Because these are stretch, this is a property called stretch. Okay, so I think uh, I think it's grow. No, it's stretch. But there's no property for stretch. There's a property, but when you've already known these two, you can. These are the main things you should know. You're going, okay, let's do this grow, and I think if there is no element, this grow will enable these things to grow to the other space. Let's do, I think it's one. Do on Felix. Let's see what happens. Hmm. There's a soft flex rank. Then this is the start. This basis is the start. This shrink. You'll not be using this a lot. That's why I'm not conversant with them. You can research about this. You'll get a video on how this goes about. Also this one. But I know flex basis you can do. Let's do 300 px. No flex basis. It's worth setting your initial. I don't know what you can search about that. The main things are this. You can take out this border. You can take out this border. And you now want to put this to the center. What you do, you you see this is justify content. You are styling the main axis, you put it to the end. You put this to the center. You put that to the center and then you style the other axis, align items. You put that to the center. And you do the gap. You do the gap. Okay, so you can do the gaps all you want. If you want this to stay on this side and this to stay on this side, they made that easy. They You just come back to the justify content. There also are the other ones which look similar like this. So you you have to master this because if you search you'll find others which confuses you. So you do just think you do what do you do? Flex. I don't know why it's not showing. No, it's not showing that it should be flex between. see what is it's such. It's space space between. So come here and do space between, and they'll be this way. Then you'll be like, you want some space on this side and this side. What you do, you come to the first one and you just write PL and do multiply and it will move and you write PR then do multiply. Okay. Now you can see when you enlargen it, the layout does not break. It's the same thing. Okay, I said this is a beginner tutorial, so this is just to add on to maybe these things. If we do them now, it will add more complexity. But this is just behavior. I'm not I didn't go through before I created this tutorial. So this is a raw attempt after a long time of doing these things. It's been a long time since I've done such things. So like can come back here and let's reduce the okay, we specify the height. This height is it's the padding bottom. Let's do 60 px. Maybe this is not looks can do also negative. Mm. Okay, you can add something say can come and do another grouping and add h2 then write uh, uh, long. Now you want this thing to be come to the center here. Never try and start moving these things like just use legs. Never start coming and start using margin or pad. You can use margin left Then you add 90px, it will be moving, but when you enlarge this thing, this structure will break. It will break. You don't put flex here, you put flex up. Style flex. Then when you already put flex there, wait, you do display flex, not flex. So after doing that, you create another div. You can create as many divs as you want. Control S to organize this to be readable. Then this flex, when you add something, let's add and you see what happens. It will move it on this side. You only have one element. What you do, you can, let's do it on top of here. You come, then you write justify content, then you do center. It will move. It's not a must you put this here, but sometimes you can find this an inline. It's an inline element and it won't move. You won't get affected by padding or margin, so it won't move. So this div is a block element. You can move. Just love using divs. You can even put another div inside here and nothing will happen. Then you can add margin top 80 px. This is a must. And this div, if you want to see, if you want to do its height, you can just do height and then do 90. And if you want to see, you do background color, and do this and you see what's happening. If you were to put a background color, you see now you are styling the main axis, you not styled the other axis. You can come and write this line. You now see how this is coming to become a mess. That's why we use external styling. You do center, and if you click Control S, it prettier organizes your code. Sometimes when you add flex, it appears not to work. What you need to do is add another div on top. Then you just try a lot of, you just keep on trying until it comes out. Sometimes it does not work. I don't think we can encounter that situation here, but I've encountered sometimes it appears not to work. What you need to do is you just try restructuring where you are putting the flex, where is it? The display flex. You can, I don't know if I can do that, but I don't know if I can recreate such, but sometimes you can be like, this is prettier, it has done this. I don't know if you will know how to read code from up to down, but that's how it's supposed to be. Code is supposed to be formatted in such a way like this. This is readable. Maybe you encounter such situation in some places, but what you have to know is try moving your display flex to some other part of a div which encloses your element which you want to center. But this is not meaningful. We didn't intend to put background color there. Is on top is too much. And you be like seeing when it's like this, it looks good, but when you enlarge it, it looks this way. And you maybe want, like when it's enlarging, this comes to this point, and you'll be like seeing like this is like not centered with this two. Like let's put it this way it appears centered. Let's say this, but I don't think it's centered. Let's center that. Like when it's like this, you see this is not centered with this. So what we do, we enclose this one with a div, then we do another flex. Again, we can add another div and then center it. So these are P and these are H2. What we do, we come here, then we add a div, then we add a div inside here. Then we take this one, put it in, we put it in here. Then you can hold shift and use the arrow keys to highlight it, then you put it in here, then you control S. I pretty cannot save due to an error. I know it's in the CSS. Let's do control slash and recommend this out so that Prettier can see. Let's do control S. Prettier is not still saving, I don't know why. Okay, let's add a style here. Let's do display flex. Then it's just these things. Let's do justify content and align center. Control S. I don't know why Prettier is not saving. Let's check. Says formatting complete. I don't know why, but it should bring this thing down here. This down here. I don't know why it's not doing that. Then come here and take these ones, put it there. Let's check. I think it's now centered. From this W up here to this side, from this W down here to this side, I think it's now centered. Now it's centered. Let's restart this extension. You come here and search Prettier. Let's disable it. Let's restart it. Enable. This will never happen. I don't know why. This is why we need this here. Let's close this down. Okay, to close the terminal, you press Control backtick. No, don't mind about this. Okay, that has opened the terminal. To close it is Control backtick. We can work without prettier. I don't know why it's being an error. Okay, now I think it's written. We can close this. Try looking border. It's the one px black solid. Then oh, it's not working. Let's go live again. Yes, so this is the one. Yeah. Okay, let's remove this one. I don't know how the border comes up like this. I don't understand how the border can be like this. It's different. You can now see this is centered, they're the same. If you're not sure, you can add another div to wrap this and add the same things which you added on this other side. I don't know why this border is like this, but I don't know. Okay, so we are okay. You'll be like saying this look fine, but when you do this, you don't like this. You can add margin left and right. You come to the header and you do margin 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 inline. I think it's inline. It does left and right. Let's try 60 px. Then margin block does the top and the bottom. And then you like when you reach here, you don't want it to have margin inline. You can use square. You can use this. You can use the CSS. I don't know how it's called, but you can use something called CSS. I don't remember how it's called, but I think it's media query. So you come down here and specify something like this. Then this say at media on the screen. This is a condition. If maximum width is 600 px, do this. Well, I think we should enlarge if we return it to 600 pixels. The background color, the body, you select the body. Now you can select the header inside here. Select the header. You do this. Then you do margin inline 0. You can see remove that, but if we do this, it comes to this point. Let's do another media query. Media You can put print when you're printing something, you specify another CSS styling, but you can do marks with the so you should know desktop sizes. You should know this to this is a desktop size, this to this is a desktop. You can research about it. Okay, always like W3 School 8 teaches a lot how to use something CSS media queries. Okay, when you say maximum, it means the width is 600. The maximum size is 600. Okay, this is always confusing, but you can do like this. Okay, let's read on. Okay. Okay, this thing is always confusing. This is my frank giveaway. This is always confusing. This min and max is always confusing. But you can read about this. This is not hard. This is they've used grid. They've not used flex. There's another display called grid. It's a more advanced one, but grid can achieve what flex can achieve what grid can achieve. You can do research about these. There's also orientation landscape, but this is always confusing. Let's see. This is 600 pixels. The maximum should be 600 pixels, so it means it starts from 0 to 600. And if I say the maximum is 900 pixels, then I say and min width is 600 pixels. Let's select the body and do the background. The background color brown. Let's see what I think it starts at this, then it goes up to 900, then it stops. This is always confusing. Marks start from a point from main. I think that it starts from 600 to 900, and this one starts from 0 to 600. This is called media queries, so you can research about them, but you can just find them here. You can set the orientation. Okay, this is not here. This is not here, but people is they can also do this. This is not here. Okay, the grid is another display like flex, but it's more advanced and it always try to play with your tempo. It's not that easy, but you can just learn. So like yeah, I've pressed Control slash to do that. Um, okay, so I was to teach JavaScript, but it's also essential you understand Flex and how to position things in your in your website. There also position which must be covered and understood so that you know how to position things, because there is a position called absolute. If you have a picture here and you don't want to go back and start doing flex, you can add a property position absolute, and the picture will move out of this structure which comes from up to down. It will be an absolute. You just put it anywhere. You don't have to put it here or here, but you have to mind the relativeness where you want it to position relative of. If you speak about relative, it's like based on this. Now when you have a picture and you've placed it in here, you want it to be relative off of this header. So when you will add a position relative to this, then you add a position absolute to the picture. Then when you do position absolute, it will move this picture off of this structure. Then if you say top 10, the picture will be relative off of this. It will add a top 10. Then if you do left 0, it will come here. But if you do again right 0, it will be like you want to stretch it out. Sometimes it will stretch. If it's bigger, it will come to this point. So it's like when you want to put a button here, you will put it, you can add another div and say header top. You give it a header top. Okay, let's do that. Let's add an image in, but prettier is failing. I don't know why. This prettier is very important. It formats in a readable style, but it's like it's failing. I don't know why. Taking too much time Tutorials are not this so long, they are so fast you struggle to understand. I don't know. Okay, let's try to debug what prettier, because this should be formatted in a readable way. So let's see what prettier is trying to output as an error. Let's control, you press control A. If there is anything that I've overlooked about of your knowledge and you don't understand, you can type it in the comment. So let's do control C, Ctrl-C, and let's ask Copilot what's wrong with prettier. Let's click on this point. Let's do Ctrl-V, Control plus V. Then let's see what's happening to prettier. It says the error is here. So I set up prettier like if there's an error, it does not reformat it. Okay, we cannot paragraph tag cannot contain block elements like div. Okay, so I placed, this is the problem in mm, okay, so this paragraph tag should be inside here. I left it out. Um, okay, so we did a mistake, like okay, so we take this P and we bring it in here. Oh, okay, we bring it in here. Then we take this other one, we bring it in here. Then we do Control S, it has done it. Okay, Control backtick. So it's now readable. Let's see what we were doing. We were like, okay, so no, it's not readable. We were trying to add an image in here. We want that image to come like to this point. You'll be like saying, let's add a div inside here, then an image tag, then it comes like this. You can do that, but I, I don't know, but you can use this way. You can use position absolute and relative. So this is the header. Then write you can write comments. Comments will not get run by the code. It's just for you to see where you're going. I think you can write comments like I don't know how to write comments in HTML, but you can come here and see comments in HTML. Okay, this is to write less than, you write and less than, this is and greater than, this is and ampersand, this is and quote. But for comments is this way. You write this, then you write this, then you write exclamation, then you do this on the end, then you write in between here header section, then you can come here and take this one, Control C, then you place it here and save. Work section. That's comment.
Battery almost full at 96%. Unplug from charger.
Okay, so comment. Then we want to go now to JavaScript. No, let's do the image first. Like we come to our header section, we do this is the first. This is the you can come in here and do this again. Then you come here and do six. So let's come and add the image on top here relative of this. Okay, we can do something else. We can add a chatbot here. It's not supposed even to be just an image. You can want to add a chatbot here, and you want to do it in another way that's not like with the divs and the flex. Because if you add it to a flex, it will you'll have to do flex end so that it comes here. But if you don't want to follow that direction of you doing flex, then you come to flex end. You can use position absolute and position relative. Let's add a chatbot section there. So we come and add another div. Then we write this here, then we write chatbot section. Then I told you that you can add as many divs as you want, and style, then background, background color. Let's do this. Then let's do border radius, make it rounded 80 px. Now let's do 40. Then like we can't see it. Okay, we haven't done the height. Let's do Control S so that let's do height. Let's do height. Let's do 50 px. Let's do width. Let's do also 50 px. Okay, here is it, and it appears we've put it in a flex, which is not that it's bad, but you can click here and see this. You put flex, now it appears side by side, so we take it out of this point, then we move it here. Now it's down here. Okay, you can add flex to this and then do justify and flex end. But if you don't want to do that, you okay, if you put, now here's where I was trying to explain, you want to center this. You can think that you need to put flex here. When you do that, it will be centering what's inside here, but not this element. So you come up, you put flex here. When you put flex here, it will center this. But if you put it here, it will want to center what's inside here. If you put a text inside here, that's why if it refuses, you try to move the flex to one upper place, like up here. Then you can move this to the end. But now I told you, but when you now want to do the position absolute, let's do Control S. I think you let's try to add it here. So let's see, like this is, I think it's already absolute. I think it will have moved outside. I don't know why it's not doing that. Let's move it up here. I think it should be up here. Let's do scroll. I don't know. No. Right. Let's try to see what. position, position, obsolete. What I think is already, but if this is for the whole element, let's return it down here. I think it's already absolute. Let's do this display position relative. Let's do that relative. Let's try if it's working. Let's come here and do left. Let's do right. Right. Let's do 0. Okay, it was working. But you can see this is different from display flex. I told you if you put display flex here, it will want to work on the things inside here. So you move the display flex up here and you do the justify content up here, so it will center the things inside here. But for position absolute, it's this element which you want to be absolute and you want it to be based off of this div. Okay, we can add a background color so that you can see background color. We've not used flex here, we've used dot, which will still. Oh, why isn't it going? Okay, let's do a height. Okay, now we've done a height. You can now see I've done right 0. It has moved to the right at 0 pixel because I've done position absolute. When you do position absolute, you can have right, you can have left, you can use these things. You can use left, right, top, and also top. You can use top, you can use bottom. Now, this right is based off of this because you've done position relative. This position relative tells you this is absolute based off of this. If I do here top 60 pixels, it has come down top based of this, but we've not used display flex end. We've not used that, we've used absolute. Now absolute will help you do such things. So you look at the element you want it to be relative of. Because I think if we were not to put this relative here, it will be relative of the parent. I think it's this body. If we do top 0, I think it will go to the top, but it has come up here. It will be relative of the body. This is the body. You saw we selected the body here. We did some things with the body. This is the all tag, but also we have the body. So it has come up here. It is relative from off of the body, not in this. So you see where you put it, but if you don't specify relative, it will be off of that, the body. So that's how you move things and structure your website. Use position and you use flex, and you can use the left and right. Or you can just put here 10 pixels. So equal to 10 pixels. So here up here is 10 pixels. It's relative over that. Some things are not explained well. They've passed me. Some things are people do forget. So it's just that way. So we want to go to JavaScript. And so let's go back and put relative and take this part out. So when you move it like this, it will be still here. When you do like this, it will still come here. Then you can put right 5 pixels that way. So this is the CSS part. I'll be putting timestamps. You can move from CSS to what you need. So you can do research on this. I know it won't be hard. And this one. You can also learn about animations. After knowing this, positioning, this is the main thing. Like, there's nothing else that will hinder you after knowing the positioning. And this one, that's the main thing you should just know. And now we go to JavaScript.